So we're on the countdown. Hi, everybody. We are getting ready to go live. We may have a special guest. We may have John Upton. Morning, Peter.
Good morning. Good morning. Guten Tag. Guten Morgen. Yes, all that sort. Hola.
All right.
And I don't know what Ukrainian is for hello.
I don't either. The countdown clock's gone on strike, so we've no countdown clock.
I would ban that clock. It annoys me, to be honest with you.
But you see, we've got the problem that we're going live on Facebook, YouTube.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, and welcome to our special guest. Just a moment, and Peter and I will be on screen. 3, 2, 1, now.
Okay.
Morning, Peter.
Good morning.
Morning. We're waiting for John to join us, but whilst we're waiting for John, you have a special guest. Would you like to introduce him?
Is he here?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So, believe it or not, I met him just less than half an hour ago, and we're in the same industry. We do pest control, and he is from the Ukraine. And I hope I can pronounce his right. I think it's Yegven. Yegven, come and have a chat with us.
I've got a name here, which is Karen. Well, so it's in phonetic. It's in Cyrillic. Okay, let's see.
I don't think his camera's working. Right.
There we are.
Hello. So he's done well. At least his camera's on. I'll let you speak down, John. So, okay. You can write in English.
Okay, just let you settle down. Get yourself on camera. Okay. Right. First of all, how do we pronounce your name? Good morning, and how do you pronounce your name?
My name.
All right, we need a bit of volume.
Yeah. Put your voice volume up.
Do you hear me?
We can hear you now, yeah. Good morning.
Thank you.
Right, okay. How do we pronounce your name? Let's get that right.
My name is Yevgen.
Okay, brilliant.
Yeah.
And thank you for
from occupied Kherson.
Right. It's nice to meet you, and it's good that you're actually here. Right now, of course, we watch the news, but can you give us your story of what's actually happening at the moment?
It's very difficult to explain all about my story. I'm working like a pest control technician in Kherson, but now situation is very hard in Kherson. Kherson is occupied by Russian troops now. Right now I hearing sounds of explosion. Explosion is for distance maybe 20 kilometers from Kherson. In front line is between Kherson and Nikolaev city.
Peter?
And now work like a pest control technician is not needed here because many objects I was work with them don't work now because war in our country.
Okay. Now, can I ask, as a fellow pest controller, are you self-employed? Do you work for yourself, or do you work for a company?
I am connecting with all company which provide such works in the soul of Ukraine. Before war, I drive on Kherson districts, Nikolaev districts, visit object and do pest control work.
Oh.
But now it is impossible because first nobody works. I service it
Right.
chain of supply mega shops
Okay.
at the
No.
at the best shops, but now they don't work because occupants catch all in our region and no
Okay.
possibility to work.
Can I ask you, are the Russian government feeding you?
I feed in my I feed in myself.
Right.
I go to market and buy what I need, but I have no income. I have a little money, and I will spend with money for feeding, for gas, because I must drive short distance, but my auto cannot stay because he will because it can be broken at the moment when I must need use it to drive from Kherson if here will be fighting
Okay. Stephen, is this
will be
recording,
very
by the way?
Everything's
Excuse
been
me.
recorded. Yeah.
That's good because so let's just get that right and everybody confirm this. So you're limited with your food, yes, and you're in an occupied territory now. The Russians are occupying your city. Is that correct?
yes.
Okay. So apart from how is life for you? Are you basically confined to your home?
I don't understand you. What is it confined? I'm sorry, but my English is not so good to understand from internet connecting. It's very
Okay.
I can explain anything, but understanding by computer, it's not understanding face to face, and it's
Right.
hardly for me.
If we type something in there,
Right. Okay. Let's
yeah,
just if we rephrase, Peter, are you free to move about the city? Can you move about? Can you drive about?
Yes, I drive on the city every day by car and by bicycle. I
Mhm.
prefer use bicycle because now it's warm weather and bicycle don't need petrol.
Indeed. Yeah. Yeah.
right.
The only power needed is leg power. You don't need to buy anything to ride a bike.
Okay,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
This is very interesting. So you cannot work at the moment.
I I have no opportunity to work because nobody need pest control.
Okay, right. Now, so if you are in occupied territory now, okay, what are the Russians doing to provide you with any humanitarian aid, food and water, etc.? Are they doing anything to help you now that they've occupied the area?
In Kherson, there is no any problem about food and about water. Uh,
Right. Whose phone's up?
John, I think. Hang on a second.
John. Right.
Let's
Oh,
do-
very
let's do-
critical. Stephen, would you like to ask any questions? You know, because I think he understands you better than me.
We've got an accent situation. Yeah. I think that the thing is, what do you see happening in your city? Do you see Ukraine being able to take it back, or do you think the Russians will be able to stay?
It's depend about weapons we will receive from our partners in the West, because now Ukraine very need modern weapons from our Western partners. I know Boris Johnson visited Kiev some days ago, and not only Boris, Presidents Macron, Scholz, and Drago visit Kiev before Boris Johnson's visit. They promise us support, but we need it with support so quickly as possible, because situation is very hard. Russians are crazy. They kill these soldiers, but they crazy and go and kill anyone, but they want to receive a victory in this war. I'm sure victory will be our. We must victory. We have no any way. But we need support. We need money. We need weapons.
Okay. Can I ask a question? How did I know you got on linked? You found me on LinkedIn. Where did you find me? How did you decide to contact me?
How did I find you? In LinkedIn.
LinkedIn, right?
LinkedIn.
Okay. Right. And did you just come across me, or was you looking into pest control things?
Before war, I have a dream to go to the UK and work like a pest control technician. And I have, but I haven't a visa. Now I have a visa. I can go to the UK every day, but I have no opportunity because there is a war in my country. I must stay home. Now I am home alone because my family in the free territory. I stay here and looking for my mother, 80 years old, looking for my house, looking for mother's house, and I'm sure all people cannot leave Kherson because Kherson will be died without people. We must stay here. We must wait. We must wait for freedom, and we must do anything what we can do in our place.
Okay. How near are you to Donbass?
That's point.
Sorry.
Could you? How near are you to Donbass region? Where?
Donbass region is so far.
All right. If we look at a map of Ukraine, whereabouts are you, left or right?
in the
Yeah.
soul.
What you
It's
can do if you wish,
person.
right? What you can do if you wish. Are you on mobile phone or desktop?
Desktop.
Desktop. Okay. We can try something here. If you want, if you can, I'll try and find a map of Ukraine, Peter, whilst you
Okay.
carry on.
Looking at you, you probably be old enough that your president will not let you leave the country anyway, and he'll probably call you up into the army. Is that correct?
I don't understand you, sorry.
Okay.
Right.
Have you had to join the militia?
The situation is
Join what?
Right.
okay. We'll get there.
Right. Right. Have
You
you had to join the army?
To join army?
You.
Now, for me, it's impossible.
Yeah.
Because our army I must cross front line.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
impossible now.
Impossible.
Russian don't let anyone to go across front line.
Right. Okay. So you can't join anyway. Now, what we're going to be very aware of what we say, because we don't want you to land in any trouble. Okay, Stephen?
Okay.
Yeah. Well, we don't.
Yeah. No, what I'm saying is, do you understand that, my friend? We don't want you to
We should
land in
remove.
any
We should
trouble.
remove your name. That's the first move. So just going back. Are you in contact with people around the country? Or
Yes.
just in? Yeah.
I have in person. Nobody want Russia here.
Right.
If you look in my posts in LinkedIn, there is many information there about how person fight against Russians, but victory will be only in the battlefields, not in the meetings.
Right.
So you feel it's got to be a military victory.
Citizen, yes, citizen of Kherson show our show that Kherson is a Ukraine. It's not. We don't see any another scenario of this. Kherson must be Ukraine, and that's all.
Okay. Right. So obviously, at the moment, one thing that is lacking in the world is truth. What have you heard about the Russians? How they really are? What's the word I'm looking for? How are they doing really? And don't do anything if you don't want to answer anything. Just tell us what we want to know. And if you're not happy with saying anything, that's no problem. You understand?
No, I don't understand your question. Sorry.
Right.
Sorry. It's you built so many flowers construction in English language.
Okay,
and
right.
True.
it's hardly for me to understand it. I can understand only simply phrases, but I can make very many
Right.
flowers of, but
Right.
understanding its problem
Okay.
for me.
How are the Russians really doing?
Do you think in your area the Russians are actually winning the war at the moment?
It's nobody know what
Right.
Russians will be do. I don't know what does they want. I don't know. Uh, One day I listen information about voting in person. Next day, Russian occupants decline this idea because they know person citizen doesn't support Russians invasion.
Right.
And situation change every day, uh, but they they don't know what do this person now connect to Russia.
Right.
It's not nobody in person. Nobody want it make a make districts like Lugansk and Donetsk. Kherson people don't want it. Kherson people want live in Ukraine. And after our victory, I want to go to the UK and
Yeah.
work as a pest control technician.
Right. So, what I am going to do, I'm going to get in touch with people in my industry and we will contact you, probably one of our magazines, to write a story about you. Okay. If you're okay with that.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. I'm sure we must be in the contact because I don't know how situation will be in the future.
Yeah.
If Russia will stay here, I I will try to go to the UK through third country.
Okay.
I live I I cannot imagine myself in Russia.
Okay.
If Kherson will be not deoccupied, I will must to go to the UK. I have a UK visa now, and this visa let me work in the UK.
Okay. Right. So, on you go,
Okay.
Stephen. I'm looking up his LinkedIn profile.
Peter's doing research. What can you just give us a description of what you do each day within Russian occupied territory? What can you do? What can't you do?
What uh, I cannot show my real things, what I real think about occupants. I
Right.
I cannot go with Ukrainian flags now
Yep.
because occupants will can catch me, put me in the prison or shoot me.
Yes.
But I can drive my car, I can drive my bicycle, but uh, I can any there I want to go or I want to drive, I can I will be stopped in block post. and I will be checking
Yes.
my phone, checking my documents, checking my car. I must open all doors and show that in my car there isn't any weapons.
Okay.
In terms of food and water, are they available to you?
I have no problem with food or water now. I have a problem with the money because all ways to make money for me are closed now.
Right.
Okay.
I have no work. I not work as a pest control technician. I worked in advertisement industry. I work as a mystery shopper,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
like a freelancer in person. But now all what I do doesn't need, because nobody asked me to work as a mystery shopper, because shops are closed
Okay.
now.
Right.
Right.
That was my next question about whether shops are open or closed. So all shops are closed.
No, some shops works,
Mm-hmm.
some shop close, but prices in our shops
Okay.
high
Yeah.
high twice high twice be, uh, as before war.
Okay. What type of shops are open?
Uh, food
Food. Right. Incidentally,
food
Stephen, I've put on where he lives uh, in the host chat. It's Kherson. That's where he is. Yeah.
Okay, got it. Kazan.
Curzon. Right.
Yeah, Kazan.
Okay. Do you know? Do you know how are you keeping in touch with your own government? Is there any way you can tell us about that?
uh, how can I touch my government?
How do you keep in touch with what your president is doing?
uh, I have an opportunity to see Ukrainian TV channels. I know we are living in the age of internet, and you see from my home in occupied Kherson, I have opportunity to connect all world. I have opportunity to speak with you and see you. It's very good because there are internet connection, but uh, was some days occupants cut off internet in Kherson, cut off all Ukrainian telephone numbers doesn't work in Kherson. We must use Russian phone connection,
Right.
Russian numbers. It's a horrible, but I my, my phone have Russian number, and I must use it.
Okay. Do you have a VPN?
Yes, of course. I
These people are clever, you know. Listen, uh, I watch a lady in Russia. I watch a lady in Russia who is in support of you. She doesn't on TikTok. and she tells you what's happening in her area in Russia, and they are not for the war. And I was told by her that they are starting to burn and bomb the recruiting stations for young men. Yeah, so we're hearing that out of Russia.
I don't understand your question.
Oh,
Uh,
right.
it,
Oh, what a shame.
it wasn't a question. Basically, what it's saying is that there are people in Russia who do not support the war in Ukraine. They don't think it should be taking place, and they're doing things within Russia to actually express how they feel about the fact that they've invaded a sister country and are doing things which shouldn't be done, just shouldn't be ever be done. Whatever your logic for doing it, it doesn't work, because attacking a friendly country is wrong. And the USA, the UK, France, Germany, Belgium, Italy all support the Ukraine. And our daily news is of are sending arms to the Ukraine to actually help you and aid to the Ukraine. We know of people who've come from the UK, driven to Ukraine, actually helping out. So there's a lot of help being given, as much help as can be done. The only thing that we can't do is, as countries, we can't actually fight against Russia, because that would lead, in the minds of our politicians, that would lead to World War III. So that basically, in terms of military assistance, that's being given. In terms of training, that's being given. In terms of international support, I think every single country, bar about 10, are on the side of Ukraine and want Ukraine to get through this, and for the Russians to draw back to where they were back in March. And I don't think you'd be hard. Well, we support you, is what we're saying.
Thank you, thank you. I know about the support of Ukraine from all civilized world. I know about this, and I'm sure we must get victory. We can get victory, and we will get victory in this war.
Right.
No another way. Uh, and after our victory, I will go to the UK and try to work. Have you any opportunity?
Well, I have at the moment in Glasgow, and I'm looking for someone in a place called Glasgow. But at this point in time, you wouldn't get the job because you've got to stay in your own country at the moment and help your fellow citizens. And anyway, and this is one of the great ways that you will be able to help us by letting us. Obviously, you have got to be careful, and we want you to keep in touch and let us know what is happening in your area.
Okay, thank you. You can call me by WhatsApp anytime.
Yeah.
Can you write my WhatsApp number now?
Could you send it in LinkedIn to me in a message?
Yes, I
Easier.
send you in a message,
Right.
and you will call me anytime and ask me about anything.
Right.
I
Okay.
will
So, yeah.
I will tell you situation in person. I know about it, and I can explain what's happened here.
Okay. That is good.
Okay,
That is
okay.
good.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
Goodbye. I just write you my WhatsApp number by LinkedIn.
Okay, Stephen.
Nice meet you.
Nice to meet you. You're more than welcome to join us this time every Thursday for a quarter of an hour or so, and keep in touch and keep us up to date with what's happening and tell your story, and let's let the world know what it's like at the moment. So
Okay,
thank you for joining us today.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you. Wow. What do you think of that?
Wow. I do believe in serendipity, Peter, and things just come together. And talking of coming together, we have no longer hidden behind the green screen. Morning, John. You
Speechless.
you've no microphone, my friend.
So
Just
no.
he's hang on. Wait a minute. Try again, John.
I think I was muted.
I think you might have been, because
Okay.
we had phones going off and everything.
That's right.
Right.
We're
It's a
getting
phone
a bit excited.
Phone that never rings except with a scammer on it. And on this occasion, it wasn't a scammer.
Ah, right.
Did you manage to hear what was going on, John?
I heard most of it, yes.
That's good.
I was a bit late coming in because my customer rang up to say that they turned the machine on in the stores and dispatch area, and it came up saying couldn't find Windows.
Oh, well, that's a bad sign, John.
Well,
So
at that time it was replaced anyway. Yeah.
So he's just contacted me on WhatsApp. It's great if we've got. So I'm going to get a story about him. I'm going to phone my pest control magazine and get some, maybe help me meet up with them so they can ask questions and things. But what did you pick up from all that then, Stephen?
That basically they're just surviving. Right, okay, there we have it. There's a map. Curzon is there. You can see it. Location of Curzon. Show a map of Curzon. Show a map of Ukraine. And there it is. Can you see it on the right-hand side there?
Could you just explain what it is? Because it's very little according to this. Yeah.
There.
Is it full screen?
Can you see it is full screen. Can you see the two badges? 3 blue lines and one.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah.
Underneath that, you can see a map with one word on it.
Curzon.
Curzon.
It's very little on my end. It's hardly readable, to be honest with you. If you can magnify it.
Being readable, fair enough, but you can actually, the layout of Ukraine. Kiev's in the north.
Yeah.
Kiev's in the north.
Yes.
And he's way down south. Is all the point I'm making.
He's near Donbass. He's been cut off. John.
Okay. Yeah, but
it's a river city near the mouth of the Black Sea.
Right.
Right. It's a river city that's close to the mouth of the river, that the Dnipro that comes onto the Black Sea.
The thing I got from that, Peter, is that they are surviving. They do have food and water and internet. They are being, for want of a better word, drawn into Russia. As he said, his mobile phone's got a Russian number now.
Yeah.
He cannot leave the city. He cannot leave the country. He can drive and cycle about, but he gets stopped everywhere he goes.
Right.
Proving who he is. I think next time he's on, if we ask him to talk about his friends and neighbours and how they're actually coping with what's going on. But that was just, I mean, you only met him at 9:30. That's pretty good going, Peter, to actually get him live.
Yeah, he contacted me and I had a look because I do get actually international people looking at me on LinkedIn. Some of the things on this is, I'll tell you what, I'll look, and he's linked in with the chief executive of the Pest Control Association. Has seen that, and I thought, oh, there's an opportunity to see what's happening. No, I will go and get a story for him. Hopefully, right? I'll contact one magazine, and I'll talk to them and tell them life as there's no life as a pest controller now because you can't earn a living.
No, well, people can't pay him. If people are not working, then people
Yeah.
can't pay for his services, can they?
Well, I was trying to find out what it was like under Russian occupation, and the fact. So he's learning from the internet what his government's doing. They've no direct access anymore.
No.
Yeah, fascinating. And
So,
it looks as though he wants out the country after it's all over, by the looks of it. However, he's of fighting age. He's not allowed to leave, by the looks of it. He doesn't.
well, he's in Russian occupied territory, so the Ukrainian army can't reach him.
Right.
He
Yeah.
can't join. He can't join the Ukrainian army or the
Yeah.
Ukrainian reserve because he's in Russia effectively.
Yeah. And as I say, I kept saying, don't say anything you don't want to, because I was worried for his safety.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's why I turned his name off, even though it was in Cyrillics.
Yeah. I don't know. How did you feel about it?
I just thought it was good. It was good to actually find out exactly what's happening from somebody who's actually there rather than lives there.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But surely, if he's got no money coming in, the Russians are going to have to feed them.
Yeah.
What of them? They've got to. They can't just let him starve to death. I think I'll work on this to see what's happening, you know. So it's a case that the Russians will say, you do it our way or you'll get nothing.
Yeah. He's not very far from Crimea.
That's what I was thinking. Is it near Crimea? Because that's Russian occupied now, isn't it?
Well, that's been Russian occupied for many years.
Yes. Yeah. And wow. I'm really good. So he's obviously reaching out in LinkedIn to pest controllers in the UK.
Yeah,
you know?
but he's nowhere near Luhansk or Donetsk. He's in the piece right at the bottom where they've tried to drive across the south of Ukraine.
Right. Okay. So, but the Russians have cut it off from the rest of Ukraine.
Yeah. Right. Just so you know, we are live on LinkedIn today, so if you want to share that, you can share it with him. It's on my profile on LinkedIn.
It's a port city, by the way.
Yeah. Okay. Gee, this thing. I think you keep in contact with me. Right. So that Northland that was great. You know. Let's all go.
I've got phones going off everywhere.
Yeah, it's just. Well, what I'll tell you. Let me tell you. What a nightmare having. Somebody's reported me at Facebook, and there was 3 Peter Stewarts when you go now.
You've been clowned again.
What I'm going to have to do is close the lockdown, but I can't. I had people still contact me on Messenger, so I'm going to have to carry 2 phones with me just now. And then after the summer, I am taking the plunge and everything's going. And I'll probably shut down the business, all my businesses, and start them afresh after many years. But however, I'll work on it. What do you think?
Yeah, well, it wouldn't take you too long to get back up to speed, Peter, and get found.
No, I don't use Facebook much anyway. Now I'm kind of away from it, you know. I'm working on my SEO, but exciting times. Oh, we're really busy just now. And you know this, John, I know you do pay-per-click and things. A couple of changes were made. We're getting a lot of bee work, and the biggest one is bee removal.
All right.
And we actually remove bees now. We take them away if we can. Majority of the time, we relocate them. So bee removal, and that's one of the most clicked on in the area. So I'm really doing my homework on it just now. You know, quite exciting. Yeah. Right, Steve. Anything else happening in the world?
In comparison to the war in Ukraine, no. And I hope your friend does pop back on a regular basis, just pop in for a quarter of an hour and keep us informed on what's going on. More than welcome to do that.
Yeah. So just we'll give him a 15-minute slot or something like that.
Yeah.
I think that'd be a good idea. just to find out what's happening and hope he's safe. But as soon as I can't. I've got a 10 past meeting. And see, when you were aged 50, Stephen, back to you. What do you want to talk about today? Sorry.
I'm happy to talk about anything. I think that today, though, is another day in the life of politicians where there are two by-elections which are taking part because of disgraced Conservative MPs. Both have a high Conservative majority, and one could fall to Labour and one could fall to Lib Dems. John?
Well, Devon, isn't it? The Lib Dem possibility.
Yeah.
The locals have been complaining about how many people have been shipped in to do campaigning on the doorstep.
Here's a question, right? Did you know it is illegal to interfere in an election campaign for a bona fide political party? Yeah? Things like taking down their posters is illegal, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now, there's one group I've looked at that became a political party, right? And it's in Wakefield. 6 police cars were waiting for them, confiscated their van. It went about the town with a loudspeaker, right? Arrested one of them for false allegations, right? Kept them for 8 hours and then let him go. And it was all because the big wigs of Labour were in the area. That's what they reckon. So, confiscated their vehicle. And so what they done was they took the police to court. The judges sided with them.
Mm-hmm.
And they also had to take them to court to get their vehicle back.
Right.
And they've won that too. It was blatant interference. And it won't be left there. There's a lot of things happened, but it was all because bigwigs from Labour were up. And the local local inspector thought he would help them by doing this. And it is backfired because they're getting sued. You can't interfere, whether they're left, right, or centre, folks. You can't interfere with politicians electing. Let that be a lesson to them.
Yeah. True. But, right, so
Not very liberal, Stephen.
in important news as well, Vincent Kompany is the new manager of Burnley.
Apparently he's taken the job because he couldn't sell his house that he had from when he was Man City.
Oh, right. Okay. That's the rumour, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes.
And say good morning to Corinda. Corinda, you have missed a scoop because at the beginning of our show today, Peter had a guest live from the Ukraine. They met on LinkedIn. He's in Russian occupied territory. So if you want to know what it's like living in Ukraine at the moment, watch the replay. And you can watch it on LinkedIn too. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, Vincent, we've got to get out of the Championship back into the Premiership as soon as possible. And having a decent manager.
Selling all your good players.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's it. The fact is he's got contacts, hasn't he? Yeah. He can.
You're going to need
we've shipped all our best players. We've sold them. All the contracts run out. So the Premiership team no longer exists. If we were asked to play tomorrow, there are probably 2 or 3 out of the old team would be there at the rate of gone. So we've got to move on. Okay. Right. So that's happening. What else is happening today? Oh, wait a minute. What's not happening? Peter, if you went out your door now and you got a train from Aberdeen to London, what would happen?
If I got a train from Aberdeen to London, I don't know, because I've decided, where possible, not to use the train again when I've got a free bus pass.
Look, if you try to get a train today from Aberdeen to London, you can't.
Right, okay.
Simple as that. The second day of the national train strike is on. And do you think Conservatives are handling this the right way? I mean, the Prime Minister's not spoken to the railway unions. the government minister responsible seems to be dissing everybody. Where's the spirit of compromise and trying to reach an agreement?
Well, the problem is if they do it for the rail, they'll have to do it for everyone. And this, we're in an economic catastrophe at the moment. And if everybody wants their wages up, well, guess what? It may cost people their jobs to say we can't afford to pay you all the same price. So we're going to have to compromise and pay some people off because we can't afford it. And you're going to have to work harder for that same money. And we're going to have to watch you every 8 hours that you work, every minute. You'll get your official tea breaks. And after that, you will have to work your knuckles off. That might happen, you see. Now, my guys, they can stop for a cup of tea when they want. They go, they kind of fix their own day. They go around traveling about, you know. I've just had, no, the minimum wage changed, the things change with it. If you want to go back to the 70s and the days of the strikes and the pickets, etc., the country will be in trouble. What about holding together? But no, the MPs should have refused their pay increase, as far as I'm concerned, or say, I'll take my increase, but my money's going to a charity. Something like that. But yeah, that's my kind of decision on that. That's how I would look at it.
Yeah. There's a queue. I mean, obviously, the train drivers, etc., are going to strike again on Saturday.
Yeah.
And then if that doesn't succeed, there'll be more strikes. The nurses and teachers are waiting for their turn to strike. We basically, and inflation's at 9.1%. It's a perfect storm. Yeah. Because there's so many different pressures on us that people are going to have their democratic right to strike.
Excuse my thickness. Explain inflation to me.
Right. Okay. Basically, Peter, is basically what you pay for your food. If your pint of milk is £1 and next week it's at £1.10, inflation is 10%.
Yes.
And the problem at the moment is that the items in your shopping basket with the highest inflation are the staple things that you need to buy.
Yeah.
I mean, a low cost loaf of bread was 59p. It's now 78p.
Wow. How much percentage is that, Mr. Accountant?
33.
How do you do that in your head so quickly, Stephen?
Because he was an accountant.
I used to be an accountant many moons ago when I left school. Yeah.
That would take me 3 years to work out because I'm thick.
But I mean, you've got to be good at math to be an accountant.
The easiest answer to that is to just round it. 59 goes up to 60.
Yeah.
78 goes up to 80, and there you are. That's 20 pence differential is the third of the original.
My cousin was a math teacher, and I used to go around to him to help with mathematics, right? That's the truth. And I said, explain this to me. And he says, this, that, look, do that. And then I said, how long did the kids take to learn this, Joe? And he went, 18 years. But listen, let me tell you where it hit me recently. I said to Andy, oi, Andy, how much does it take to fill the van? He says, 130 quid. I says, what? What? I says, 130 quid. He says, yeah. He says, but when Nathan's off for his 2 days, this is a good thinking man, this. He says, when Nathan's off his 2 days, Andy's got the biggest van in the fleet. And it's quite a heavy van. It's got everything in it. He says, but when Nathan's off, I drive over and take his van, which I thought, wow, which is about half the size of her, you know, or even smaller than that. And I thought, well done, you.
Is one petrol and one diesel as well?
No, they're all diesel. I'm actually, believe this or not, I'm actually thinking of getting an electric car like a Tesla, leasing it. My Indian friend that I know, he worked it out, and he says it's far cheaper to get the Tesla on a lease. if you work out the fuel rates. But I'm scared to drive one in case I break down somewhere.
Yeah, well, my mate's got a Jaguar electric, yeah,
Yeah.
and he says the cost of charging that's risen significantly as well.
But you know what will happen. No, what gonna now we've changed from diesel, we've changed for petrol or electric. We'll have to double your tax for it, and we're going to reintroduce road tax for it, etc. And it's going to cost you about the same as having a diesel in the past. Take that.
Yeah, well, I can't believe that in my local Esso station, yeah, it's 11 pence difference between diesel and petrol. Yeah, diesel is 11 pence more, and diesel takes less processing effort, so should cost less.
Hey, can I tell you about? I'm thinking of getting an electric bike for traveling the city again. Okay, now let me tell you, when I was in Holland, when I took a break to Glasgow, something said, "Go to the end of this road," in Dumbarton Road, and I went there, and I said, "Love e-bikes," and I knocked at the door, and the guy wouldn't let me in. He pointed to a sign, "Appointment only." But I persevered. He came out. He says, "Yeah, how can I help you?" He says, "I'm appointment only." I said, "Listen, I'm passing by. I wouldn't. Could you tell me a bit?" He says, "Okay," and you come. And after that, he broke down a bit, and he told me all about himself. He used to work for Raleigh, and he was appalled at the service sometimes that his customers were giving his clients. So what he did is he decided that he knew. I says, "Why electric?" He says, "Because they're the future." And he was a racer, a bike racer. So he says, "I went in, and he's only picked about 4 in a range, and he's been to Germany and Austria and everything." He says, "I only do visits by appointment only. They're 3-hour visits. I take people out on the road. I don't answer telephones or anything." He says, "They get 3 hours, and I train them up in the bike, and my minimum price is 2,500 for a bike, up to thousands." But I thought, what a fantastic service. That's just like going to a tailor, and remember they made to measure suits and things. And I thought, wow, that is really exceptional. And he says, if somebody comes in and says, "I bought this £700 e-bike," he says, "I'm sorry, I only maintain my own bicycles that I have sold." And I just thought he was such a system. "I think you've got such a unique service." And I will tell people, because people in Aberdeen say, "Where should I get a bike?" So he says, "Tell them to forget the 700 quids and things like that." So if I go for a bike next, right, which I may do, I think I will be going down to Partick, it is Dumbarton Road, and I will be making an appointment. And he says, "I'll show you how to work it properly as well." And that is one of the, I've got to tell you guys, that is one of the most unique services that I have seen lately. And I told the guy so. And I learned a lot from our discussion, and he enjoyed it as well. What do you think?
Right. Okay. I want to take a trip down memory lane.
Okay.
Okay.
What do you think about what I told you?
Okay. My apologies, Peter. Okay. I'm going to take a trip down memory lane. Can you all see that photograph?
Yes.
Right. You can see the photo. That's a good start. Okay. This is Nelson Grammar School, my alma mater, my old school. And this picture was taken the year after I left.
Okay.
And these are all my friends from school. And I have a chap called Jeffrey Ireland, because I posted and I said, okay, it's the sixth form from 70-71, and I can recognise Stuart Wilde, John Oldham, Philip Blackburn, Nicholas Groves. Just off the top of my head, I named 10 people. And then Jeff Ireland, who's a solicitor, came along, and he named every single person in the photograph. Absolutely incredible.
And so are you in the photo?
No, fortunately not.
Oh, you didn't go to sixth
It was a year after you left.
It's the year I left. Basically, I went to become to become an accountant, so I actually left. But that's the class, and those are all my friends from school. I don't want to do a where are they now.
Do you know any of them today?
I know. Do I know of them today? No, has to be said. Oh, sorry, one. Top left is Dr. Philip Blackburn, who lives in London and is probably the only one who's on Facebook.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay, so he and I are still friends, and we cross paths occasionally. But as for everybody else, they've just sort of vanished. Okay, right. So that's my school years, 1970-71. If I can find a photograph with me on, I will be fair. I will. If it's a photograph with me on, I will show it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. And John, it's over to you. Must be.
Well, that one went quick, didn't it?
Wow.
I hardly said a word. We got lots of words from Peter, though, didn't we?
Oh, yes.
Oh, we did. We got an amazing interview. Yes.
I'm
But
not
Peter,
one yet, but quiet.
Whatever your car was going to cost last week, your Tesla, is going to cost more this week.
Because
Simply because they've removed the government grants for buying an electric vehicle.
yes, thank you
They've
very much.
instantly become more expensive.
Yeah.
So it's them two over there, and our gentleman in Ukraine. It's goodbye from all of us. That's him in Scotland, him in Wiltshire, me in the West Midlands, and the friend whose name I didn't actually catch.
Neither did I.
Because it was all in Cyrillics.
It was.
Yeah. It was good to talk to him. So it's goodbye from him, and it's goodbye from me. Same time, same place next week. Bye.
Bye.